This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, pet parents. This is Michelle Fern, host of Best Bets for Pets on Pet Life Radio. Now, my cat crew, and that's Molly, Charlotte, and Dennis, they're a lively bunch. They get into mischief, and sometimes they get a little under the weather, except this cat mom doesn't always know it. Wouldn't it be great if there was a way you could tell? Well, my next guest has this great product that gives you a little hint that your cat might be feeling a little under the weather. We'll be right back.
Today's episode is sponsored by Hanover Square Press and The Secret Language of Cats: How to Understand Your Cat for a Better, Happier Relationship by Suzanne Schatz. Have you ever wondered what your cat is saying? In The Secret Language of Cats, Schatz offers a crash course in cat phonics to help you crack the cat code. Perfect for the fans of The Lion in the Living Room and the Inner Life of Animals. The Secret Language of Cats by Suzanne Schatz is available for purchase today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I'd like to introduce Daniel Rotman. He is the founder and CEO of PrettyLitter. Welcome, Daniel.
So happy to be here. Thanks for taking the time to talk.
Well, thank you for being here. Now, tell us a little about what PrettyLitter is about.
PrettyLitter is an early detection health monitoring kitty litter that will change colors when it detects a potential medical condition with your cat. And PrettyLitter was inspired as a result of something that I went through with my cat, Gingy, my beloved Gingy, who I received as my 10th birthday present from my sister. And she lived all the way through high school, through college, post-college, well into my mid-20s. But she ended up passing away from an illness that I didn't know was festering in her body for quite some time. But I only found out until Gingy started acting very lethargic and stopped eating, which to me seemed to happen rapidly. She went from purring to all of a sudden using the bathroom outside the litter box. And I didn't know what was going on, and I had a lot of anxiety, and I rushed to the vet, only to find out that my Gingy ended up having a disease that ultimately took her life. And I found out from this process that this is actually a very common experience for cat owners who often don't find out that something's wrong with their cat until, in fact, their cat is the one to tell them. But by that point, it could be an advanced stage. So I set about creating a litter that can respond to different anomalies in a cat's urine, from acidity levels to alkalinity levels to blood presence in the urine, anything that's considered abnormal ranges, or, for example, with blood, we never want to see that in the urine. And if that's there, the litter will change to very specific colors, blue, orange, green, giving you an alert, hey, your cat may be purring on the outside, but something may be going on the inside, and it's worth going to a vet. That was the inspiration for PrettyLitter, and ever since then, we've been able to help save cat lives around the country.
Well, I think it's an amazingly wonderful idea, because as I was listening to your story, and I'm so sorry to hear about your cat.
I appreciate it. Well, she had a joyous life. She had a joyous, full life, and that's the circle of life that happens.
Yeah, they never live long enough. Our fur kids,
true.
Never.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience with Dennis, because what I've heard, and he ended up with crystals in his urine, but the thing about, and this was many years ago, the thing I've heard over and over, especially with cats, I think it's with most fur kids, but especially with cats, is they're really good at hiding their illness. They don't tell you about it. Like dogs will tell you a little bit more about it, but cats usually don't tell you until it's almost too late.
Totally true. In fact, of all domesticated pets, cats are known to be the most stoic. It's always, there's that famous scene or idea where when a cat is towards the end of their life, they typically retreat to a place that they feel safe, whether it's in a closet or under the bed. They're just built by nature where if they're feeling weak, to protect themselves from predators, they don't show. And it's more than any other pet that you would see. So yeah, this is a real problem. And the thing with cats is, even the best cat parent does regular wellness checks with the vet, but even then things could happen in between. In fact, we had a recent customer reach out to us to share a testimonial that she had taken her cat to the vet and did a normal wellness check and everything was fine. And yet a week later, PrettyLitter changed colors and she went back to the vet and said, "What's going on?" And the vet ran a urinalysis and turns out that the cat was in the early onset of feline lower urinary tract disorder, which is like a urinary tract infection. So these things can occur quickly, even in between wellness checks. And so it's just important to be able to do so. But, we invented PrettyLitter not for cats that are ill, though we certainly have a decent number of customers who have senior cats or cats that have chronic issues. But, the vast majority of our customers are healthy cats. It's just because cats, things can happen from crystals to urinary tract infections to liver conditions. Things come up over the course of a cat's life. We wanted to create something that can keep active tabs on your cat's health. I mean, the litter itself does everything else you'd want your litter to do. The litter has amazing odor control, virtually dust-free, super lightweight. It's a fantastic litter. Fantastic litter that for a 1-month supply is priced the same as you would see any of the other premium litters on the store shelves at any of the supermarkets. But in addition to that, we'll monitor your cat's health. We set forth from the inspiration of what I went through with Gingy to basically reinvent litter and take what is a nuisance and really turn it into a lifesaver and just provide you the best litter experience possible. That's all we really wanted to do with it.
Well, it sounds like you were very successful in doing that. For everybody that's listening, the litter itself, it's kind of like a white sparkly color, right?
Yeah.
Inside the bag.
Our litter is made of crystals that have a very sand-like texture, so absolutely wonderfully soft on a cat's paws, and also not a lot of tracking. So it's really great. Oftentimes you see some litters where the granules are off shape or a little larger, and in fact a lot of cat owners don't know that sometimes it's uncomfortable for a cat's paws. So we made PrettyLitter to be very fine in texture. And within the normal beautiful white litter we have distributed our health indicators. So when you get your first order of PrettyLitter and you look at this beautiful litter of sand that's laid out in front of you, you'll see the little specks. And those little specks are the health indicators that end up reacting if there's anything that's off. Now, if everything is normal, you'll see that the cat's urine would be a yellow to like a banana type yellow color or like a light olive green. Everything that's considered normal within urine, it becomes very obvious to the cat owner, where if that spot all of a sudden turned to a blue or a red, something's going on. But what you want to see is that normal urine color, and then just let the litter do its magic.
Okay, I have some questions for you right after this break. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggosuds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggosud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggosuds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking to Daniel Rotman. He is the CEO and founder of PrettyLitter. So we're talking about how PrettyLitter is such a great health monitoring system. So I know my audience well, and I know they're probably thinking, I wonder how this works, because you put the litter, in your litter box, and whether it's, and it works, I know, for regular litter boxes and automated litter boxes. And cats do their business and then they hide it. Well, good cats do. So can you still see it if there's a color change?
100%. So what happens is that after the cat does their business and the litter is responding to the cat's urine, and what will happen is that even if the cat uses their paws to dig into the litter and then cover the spot where they peed, that new litter that they're putting from the other side of the litter box on top of the litter will also react, because any part of the litter that comes into contact with the urine itself will change color. So seeing the urine color changes is a very visible thing. And in addition to that, will continue to happen repeatedly, right? So if there's something actually wrong with your cat's health every time your cat goes to pee, as long as it's one of the actual issues that PrettyLitter responds to, which is a variety of different things that are correlated to acidity levels, alkalinity levels of blood, which you can see on our homepage of our website at prettylitter.com, and we describe all of those things, those potential medical conditions, very common things that you would take a cat to the vet for. Every time your cat will go to the box and tinkle, you will see that color change. So it will be abundantly clear to the owner, regardless of whether or not the cat likes to dig and cover their waste or just from the very next time they go. Never been an issue with any of our customers knowing that something is wrong.
Okay, and it generally, the PrettyLitter turns, there's 3 colors, right? Red, if there's blood in the urinary, or it could be a urinary tract infection. There's also blue or dark green and orange. What do those 2 mean?
Sure. So the red would be an indication of blood in the urine, which, is never ideal. And sometimes, blood can be an indication of a urinary tract infection, but can also be an indication of more serious issues. And obviously, if the litter turns red, you're going to want to take your cat into the vet immediately. When it comes to, for example, blue, that's an indication of high alkalinity, which could be certain metabolic disorders, feline lower urinary tract disorder, could be potential crystals as well. You also can see that the litter will turn into like an orange or a green, and those both can represent a lower acidity level, which can be kidney acidosis, calcium oxalates. All of those things are fancy terms for a variety of different issues that can be seen through urine. And that is something that I experienced with Gingy, because towards the end of her life, I was fascinated watching the vet not just pull blood, but consistently run a urinalysis. And I came to understand the power of urine as an indicator, as a health monitoring tool. So anything that would be considered incongruent from a pH level in the urine or, for example, blood, can be correlated to a variety of different potential issues or illnesses that we would want you to go to the vet. We designed PrettyLitter not to be diagnostic. Only a licensed vet could do that for you, but we wanted to be able to create a tool for this early detection. It's like an alert system saying, hey, I know your cat's acting fine and all is well, but you know what? This litter just changed color. It may be worth you taking your cat for a wellness check and making sure that everything's okay.
And I noticed also you said, you mentioned that several times on different questions on your website, which I think is important because you want to monitor it. It's not a diagnostic. Go to your vet because, right, there could be other things, but also to monitor over either, like I mentioned, a 24 or 48-hour period, because diet changes could possibly have an effect. Is that correct?
Plus weathers. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, cats are great. They're a fickle bunch and they get stressed out, just like we do. And so when it comes to stress, and here are examples of things that can cause stress in a cat. You mentioned any type of diet change could actually change the pH levels in a cat on a temporary basis. Stressful things like intense weather. If there's any stresses in the household, that can also contribute to it. People coming around that they don't know or don't recognize. What these things end up doing is creating temporary potential spikes in the alkalinity or a lower of the acidity level in a cat's urine. But typically those pass within 24 hours. So what we recommend to all of our cat owners is if you see a color change in the urine, just monitor it. Monitor it for 24 to 48 hours. If you see that color change consistently persists past that point, you know that it's probably a good idea to go and visit the vet.
Okay, what do you do if you have a multi-cat household?
Oh, yeah, it's a great question. In fact, more than half of our customers are multi-cat households. It's a pretty easy solution. It's very similar to what you would do if potentially you had a dinner party and you didn't want the cats running around. You just have to isolate them with the litter box. Typically what I would do, because I have 2 cats, if there's ever a color change, I just leave my cat with the litter box for about an hour, either in the restroom or in the garage. And that way you're able to isolate them. And then after about an hour, you come back in and you just take a look at the litter box. And it's a pretty easy game of being able to figure out which cat created the color change.
That's a very good idea.
Pretty straightforward. And it's just good to know overall. I mean, we have, we don't encourage it, but we certainly have cat owners where, they have multi-cat households and they see the litter change color and they say, hey, man, I want to take all my cats to the vet. I want to make sure they're okay. But we don't think that that's necessary. It's a pretty simple, straightforward thing. It's just a process of elimination. Just give them a little bit of time with the litter box and you'll see right away for yourself which cat might be having an issue.
Okay, and Daniel, earlier you mentioned that, it's nice and soft for cats' paws, so I'm assuming it's also safe for cats. What about for kittens?
100%. I really appreciate you asking that question because not only is PrettyLitter made of a very soft and very safe crystal formula, which it comes from naturally occurring minerals that is 100% digestible and will easily pass through both a cat and a kitten's system. And because of the low dust, you're often going to see less sneezing and less issues with cats that are asthmatic than you would see with other litters. It is worthy pointing out that there is not enough information out there, in my opinion, around bentonite clay litter, also known as clumping litter, which is what most folks use, clumping clay litter. And the reason for that is PrettyLitter is a non-clumping formula. The way that PrettyLitter works is our crystals will absorb the urine, trap the odor, and evaporate the moisture. Most urine contains water, and we're able to evaporate all that moisture and trap it. All you have to do is toss the poop and mix the litter, and you will see that the litter works its magic by evaporating the urine waste. And we prefer that strongly, not only because it's that creative lightweight, but we avoid clumping. And we're not about the clump. We're about dumping the clump because from our perspective, clumping bentonite clay litter has some adverse effects. For example, when a cat licks their paws after they leave the litter box, if they're using clumping clay litter, that clumping litter acts as an attractant. So when it comes into contact with moisture, it grows in size. That's how it creates that rock and that clump. Well, that happens inside a cat's digestive tract when they lick their paws and they ingest clumping clay litter. So from our perspective, we work really hard at avoiding creating any type of potential health issues as a result of using litter. And there's certainly a number of vets out there that recognize the value in natural litters as well as crystal litters and moving away from clumping bentonite clay litters, which is the most common form of litter that's out there. So I can assure all of your listeners that PrettyLitter is completely safe for cats, completely safe for kittens, and probably ideally even better and safer than your regular clumping clay litter might be. Definitely worthy asking your vet's opinion on it.
Okay, so if the litter doesn't clump and your cat urinates, the litter absorbs the urine?
It absorbs the urine and evaporates the moisture content, which is water, which is the vast majority of urine. So all it does is it will trap the odor, any type of bacteria that exists from the urine. It evaporates the moisture. It works like magic. Your cat will urinate in the box, and you come back an hour later, and it's gone. All you have to do is just toss the poop in the litter and just mix it so that you make sure that all the crystals are getting the opportunity to absorb the moisture from the urine. And a one-bag supply of PrettyLitter lasts 30 days. So right now, depending on the size of your litter box, we would either send you for an average size litter box, 4 pounds, or a larger litter box, 6 pounds, and we ship it for free directly to your home. And that one supply will last 1 month per cat. If you have 2 cats, you'll need 2 bags. If you have 3 cats, you'll need 3 bags. But it's 1 bag per cat per month. All you have to do is receive the bag at your front door, rip open the top, pour it into the litter box, let your cat use it at their will. Just toss the poop on a daily basis and mix the litter, and the odor control, the low dust, everything that you'd want from your litter will work the same on day 30 as it did on day 1. It will last you a full 30 days, which is why it's 80% lighter than a 1-month supply of clumping clay litter. In fact, the average 1-month supply of clumping clay litter can be up to 24 pounds per cat. Because clumping litter needs to be replenished. It needs to be replenished throughout the month. Every time your cat tinkles or uses the bathroom and it creates a clump, you're going to have to scoop that clump out, and you have to keep replenishing the litter with more of that clay clumping litter. Well, over time, as it keeps depleting because you keep tossing out the clumps, you have to replenish and you need more and more and more, and come to find out that after the course of a month, you've used between 20 to 24 pounds of clay litter. Because PrettyLitter doesn't clump and it evaporates all the urine, all you have to do is toss the poop and let 1 4 to 6 pound bag do the work for you for an entire 30 days. And we have a 30-day guarantee, and we have amazingly loyal and extremely satisfied customers. And any of your listeners who want to learn more can visit us at prettylitter.com and read all of the testimonials. In fact, we use a third-party aggregate tool that creates an opportunity for unbiased reviews. They just come from the community, so you could see honestly what people are saying about PrettyLitter. And PrettyLitter is currently averaging 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Fabulous. And I love what you said earlier, dump the clump. I love that, dump the clump, because that's that clumping business. You do it. It not only does a lot of litter get used, but it's not good for the environment, and it, and so on and so on.
It fills our landfills.
Yes.
Clumping clay litter takes a notable part of landfills. So we're better for the environment that way as well.
Okay, now I know for my audience, I bet a lot of people are thinking, how do you get your cat used to the change? How would you change it over? Overall, like immediately okay with it? Do you have to do it gradually?
It works just like every other litter. The vast majority of cats take to it immediately. You pour a bag of Pretty Litter in there, they step right into it, and they recognize, hey, there's my litter. But if for whatever reason your cat steps into it and says, what am I supposed to do here? All you have to do is create an easy transition process. And there's a variety of really easy ways to do it. The way that we recommend doing it is simply just pouring about an inch of the old litter on top. Really what the cat is doing is they're not saying, I don't like this litter or material. What the cat is saying is, I don't recognize the smell. Where is my litter box? What happened to my litter box? Where is the place that I'm supposed to use the bathroom? And so all you have to do is give them that familiar smell so that they know that this still is, in fact, their litter box. And so we just recommend pouring a little bit of the old litter on top. Cat steps right in, recognizes this is their box, and mixes it in themselves. And in less than 3% of all cases with Pretty Litter, if that doesn't work, then you just do a natural transition. You would do 75% the old litter, 25% Pretty Litter, let the cat use it for a couple of days, 50-50, a couple more days, and then just a full transition to Pretty Litter. But the vast majority of all cats who have ever used Pretty Litter walk right into the box right from the first pour and have no problem transitioning to it, even for the most fickle of cats. And I can tell you because I have some fickle cats. And when I brought Pretty Litter to their life, they stepped right in and had absolutely no problem.
Okay, and then what about cleaning the entire litter box? I think I know the answer to this one, but how is it? I mean, I'm sure it's so easy.
So easy just at the end of the month, right? So one bag of Pretty Litter will be a 1 month supply. If you have 2 cats, you'll just need 2 bags. Just at the end of the month, when you toss the litter and you toss it into a trash bag and safely dispose of it, it's always great to use soap and water and just wash down your box. It's the same. I can tell you that the great thing about Pretty Litter, because it's a non-clumping formula, you're going to have a lot less of those really dirty, crusty clumps at the bottom of the litter box that you usually have to really scrub hard to get out. That's typically a non-issue. Cleaning the litter box is a lot easier with Pretty Litter than it is with other litters. But of course, we always recommend for good hygiene and good cleanliness that at the end of every month, just a little water, a little soap, and just wash down the box to make sure it's clean for another fresh bag.
Okay, I can imagine all my feline friends out there nodding, going, okay, I need this. This is going to make my life easier. Mm-hmm. It's going to help me know more about what my cat's going through. And so, Daniel, where can we get Pretty Litter?
Well, I'd love for all of your listeners to give us a try. We feel extremely confident about our product, and our customers are very loyal and love the experience. So check it out for yourself at prettylitter.com, PrettyLitter, prettylitter.com. And specifically for your listeners, because I really want them to give it a try, we have a special discount code just for them. So during the checkout process, there is a section to enter in a promo or a discount code. And if they type in CAT101, CAT101, they'll get 20% off their very first order. So I hope that gives them any extra incentive they'd want, just to give Pretty Litter a try and feel it out for themselves. And if they like Pretty Litter, they can join it into an auto-renew service where, as a subscription, Pretty Litter will ship on a monthly basis directly to their home for free, so you never have to worry about running to the store and getting your litter again. We really set out to rethink litter. Like, why is this product, litter, have to be such a nuisance to cat ownership? It's the kind of product that you hide in the garage, you hide in the bathroom, you hate carrying it up the stairs. It's heavy, it's dusty, it's stinky, it's smelly, it's dirty. And we went to just reinvent it and turn it all on its head. No more having to worry about running to the store to get it. We'll ship it to your house at a schedule that's convenient to you on a monthly basis. It's 80% lighter, virtually dust-free. Odor control is fantastic. It's beautiful on both to see and for your cat's paws to use. It's low tracking. And of course, most importantly, it will keep tabs on your cat's health, all at the same price as a 1 month supply of some of the other great litters that are out there in the market. So I encourage listeners to give us a try and check out the testimonials from other customers. I feel very confident they'll be very satisfied as this being the best litter that they've ever used.
Well, I know that my cat crew had no problem adjusting right away. They jumped in, no one had a problem with the litter box, and I didn't see any colors, so I'm glad.
Great.
So happy cat
Good.
mom.
Yeah, that's
but
really
it's
important.
nice to know. It's so nice to know that if I see colors, then I know I can act on them versus the mystery of, my cat's health.
Exactly. We already created this litter to already do all the things your litter's already doing. Why not also just add the beautiful tool and convenience of also having something that's actively keeping tabs over time, over months, over years. So just in case something ever went wrong, you'd be the first to know.
Fabulous. And thank you so much for the offer. Everyone, go to prettylitter.com, cat101 in the promo box, and you'll get 20% off on your first order. Well, thank you so much for coming on Catitude and telling us all about the wonders and all about Pretty Litter.
My pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I love this show. I love hearing about these fabulous products that do the norm and then some. And you can go to prettylitter.com, put in the code CAT101, and you'll get 20% off on your first subscription. I'd like to thank my crew, Molly, Charlotte, and Dennis. They love Pretty Litter, and Happy Cat Mom saw no colors except yellow, so that made me happy. And thanks to everyone, all my pet parents, for listening to Best Bets for Pets. Thanks to my producer, Mark Winter, for making me and my guests sound great. Thank you to my guest, of course, Daniel Rotman. And thanks to my fabulous audience for always keeping me on my toes and sending me tips and suggestions. I appreciate it so much. Now keep listening. We have so many great shows coming up.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.